Hello guys, it's MC Fix-It here. We have this 2006 Honda Ridgeline that's making kind of a weird noise, especially when you accelerate, but even when the car is running. And so I do have it up on some supports right now. We're gonna go ahead and start it and give you a in-depth view of what the problem is and also how to fix it. And so we'll go ahead and put the camera down here. And I do believe it is coming from this area, which is where your catalytic converter is. And I noticed part of my heat shield is missing on there. So we're gonna see if this is the problem. And so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on and start the car. And so often when the car is running, you can see it vibrating here, but often it'll make even like kind of sometimes a clicky sound, and you can tell this is completely broken off. So this is what we are gonna have to repair. But it even has like a little bit of metal grinding sound on it. And so we'll walk through all the tools, all the supplies, exactly how to remove this heat shield. We are not going to replace it at this point. I might replace it in the future, but I've read a lot of different things online that say that doesn't even really matter. But yeah, you can hear, and as you're driving down the road, especially as starting up, you'll hear some kind of grinding noises like that. And so as it's moving, we are having those issues. So I'll show you exactly how to fix it. So here are the tools and the supplies that I use. You're gonna need a 12mm and a 10mm. If you can't fit over your bolt with a 10mm, there should be a total of 4 bolts, but only one of mine was still on there. You are going to possibly need a pair of channel locks if that 10mm does not work. And if that doesn't work, you'll probably need a little hacksaw or a Sawsal. Leather gloves are really good if it is at all hot. And some kind of cardboard. You don't necessarily have to jack the vehicle up. I did just so I could get a better view on the camera. But if that helps you or you're a bigger person like I am, you may want to jack it up. And I also wore one of these the whole time, these little face shields, just to keep dirt and debris out of my mouth and out of my nose and out of my eyes. So there's a couple of plans of attack. This is already really loose. So I'm gonna try to unbolt it here. It may not come off. And if that doesn't work, we're just gonna take a little Sawsal to it. So the first thing I would do is make sure you got safety glasses on. I'm using one of these face shields that you could get pretty easily during COVID. And you wouldn't necessarily have to have your vehicle jacked, but to be able to do this video, I did put it on those stands. And this is a 10mm and that is a 12mm. So I'm gonna see if I can hopefully hold it in place and break it off. Yep, it's coming. If this didn't work, we would have to use a little Sawsal, but I think we're gonna be able to get this to work. And it looks like this was the only thing holding it on. I think it's coming off. There's a lot of rust on this. Yep, and it broke straight off. So here is that cover plate. And again, some places you may have to have this. Where I live, there is no e-check or whatever your place calls it. So this is still a working catalytic converter, and it still has a heat shield for going up, but it looks like it was already missing the bottom portion of the heat shield. And that little metal piece hitting against here was making it kind of sound like the engine was dying. So this was a pretty quick fix. Just 2 little tools, but again, if you needed to, you can also use some kind of little Sawsal. I got one of these M12 Sawsals that work really well that you would be able to simply come in here and cut off. If you'd be able to cut off if you didn't have access to that bolt. Like this one is so gone that I probably would have had to have cut it. But yeah, I hope that was helpful for you. We're gonna go and start it back up and listen to it and see what it sounds like now without that metal clanking noise. And so now you don't have any of that sound clanking against there. So this piece right here coming off was exactly what we needed to do. There also are a couple other heat shields up further that way. If it sounds like that might be where it's coming from, check those ones out. I believe it's off the exhaust manifold. So I hope this is helpful. Please like, subscribe, comment if you do have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching.